Hello YouTube fans, here again. And why not? The next Dracula film by Christopher Lee. That being The Stars of Dracula. That's right, The Stars of Dracula. Now what can I say apart from I've reviewed it before, but I will say this one. It's definitely a step up from Taste the Blood of Dracula. Taste Dracula's ball sats, Taste Dracula's dingaling, whatever you want to call it, because it's a good film, just the ending pisses me off. Oh, I smash a window. Oh, I have a stroke, an heart attack, whatever. Oh, I fall down and end up dead and do the referee me in the next one. So I'm choking on it because it's just fucking, it's bonkers. But Stars of Dracula is a step up, and it's definitely out for an Hammer House. It starts off, you've got a vampire bat. It's a bit fake looking, but for the era, for the time, I've choose that over CGI any time of the week. But anyway, you've got a bat. You've got blood dripping out of its fangs, and it resurrects our mate, being Dracula. The effects now is a little bit dated, but again, different era, different time. And again, it brings back my mate, Christopher Lee, as Dracula. The one thing else I like about this is the duty of Christopher Lee, some good lines. And you know what else I like about it? It doesn't go on bloody revenge. So you've got a townie, a bit like Frankenstein, they've got Botoxes, and they want to burn Transylvania. And you do get Vixen in this, you know, trying to get a character like that played by Doctor Who star, non himself, the second actor to play Doctor Who, Patsy Troughton. So Patsy Troughton appears as Dracula's servant. He's putting up a fight, but they basically done the fuck off. They push him out of the way and they burn Transylvania. But as we all know, Dracula isn't there. Long below, they go to a church and all the men find their women have been massacred. And I mean, this is gruesome. This is really bloodthirsty. The women got eyeballs bitten out, big scars on the face. They literally get fucking massacred. So that's what I mean by this is one of the most violent ones out of the Dracula films. I'm not going to go over the top and say, oh, it's bloody, it's got blood, it's got ducks every 2 minutes, because that would be an exaggeration. But for the time and for an Hammer House, this was actually a bitty ballsy and bitty violent out of the Dracula films. So you got one guy in it now, it's a bit of a tap the lad, and he's having it away with women. And you do get a very long Dennis Waterman. Before the Serena, before Minor, Dennis Waterman appeared in a Dracula film. It was like professing. I mean, he does put on this really Brit accent, really posh, upper class accent, and it does come across laughable. So it's safe to say that Dennis Waterman's acting has improved over the days. Especially when there's a line in it, he says, my girlfriend's been attacked by a bat. Even I couldn't keep a straight face on that. But yeah, you've got Dennis Waterman's brother. You've got the idea he's a typical tap the lad. He's in bed with this beautiful girl. She accuses him of rape and she accuses him of being a virgin. She's a virgin. I'm the mayor because there's no fucking virgin. You've got this guy. You've got an idea he's a pope and he does a runner, a Donald Pumper. And he ends up going to Transylvania. I told us before then, he's died at home with this bar lady, but a barman comes down and basically fucks him off. And he ends up in Transylvania. He does make it out with a girl in Transylvania, long below. He's a vampire. But this bit makes me laugh. It tickles me. Because what happens is, Christopher Lee, as Dracula comes in, and he fucking stabs her. He does a Norman Bates on her. Expecting to hear the psycho music. Woot. But he stabs her, and I'm thinking, isn't it not a wooden stake in the heart what kills vampires? He goes down, don't mean that in a sexual way. He goes down near her. You got the idea he's drank blood and somehow he's killed her that way. But it's like, whatever. I always thought wooden stakes kill vampires, but I went with it anyway. The lad tries to do a runner, but he ends up tapped the tassels and mains, and you never see what happens to him after that. But you do get to see the aftershocks, what happens to him. So Dennis Waterman and his bird, I just call him Dennis Waterman. Dennis Waterman and his bird goes looking for the brother, and long below they end up in Transylvania. Dracula's about to have a fancy on Dennis Waterman's woman, which is understandable, it's like I Tanda. But Vix, the one played again by Patsy Troughton, he has a fancy. he has a blooding fancy on this I can see why. He's got a photo offer by Dennis Waterman's brother, but he gets her out, he gets Dennis Waterman out, and he basically goes and do fuck off because Dracula just wants to bite her. But again, it's not revenge, and that's something else I like about it. There's a bit in it where Dracula, out of the anger, knowing what Vitz has done, he brands his back with a burning hot sword. It looks fucking painful. He literally burns his freaking back. And it's like, flipping hell, this Dracula definitely is an evil fucker in this. They meet a priest who, I like this priest actually, it's nice to have Abbott because he does have a little bit of balls and like the wimping fucking Prince of Darkness. So he had balls. I mean, the one in fucking Dracula Risen from the Grave, he was just a fucking wimp him. But this one actually has balls because what he does is he says, right, we'll keep your woman in the turrets, go after him, but you got to have faith, you know, all that stuff. So Dennis Waterman sneaks into the cave. He's about to state our man, that being Dracula. But this is a bit I always wondered, and I said this last time, whether Fright Night, remember Fright Night Part 2, copied this, because there's a bit in it, right, where Dennis Waterman is about to state Dracula, and his eyes sort of open up, and they're like red, and it knocks our mate out, Dennis Waterman, knocks him out. The only difference is in Fright Night Part 2, it was a woman, and it was Charlie Brewster, and in that, I think he just walks off in a trance. In this, he just knocks him on his ass. Also makes me laugh. Well, why can't Jack just get up and kill him? But, you know, whatever. But Dennis Waterman wakes up. You do get to see the aftershots of his brother. And his brother's like hooked up on a wall. Bit of blood. Not too much blood. Not going over the top. But it's like, thinking how just like before Texas Chainsaw Massacre, famous scene where Leatherface looks like dirt on the hook and all that. It is just like that, really gruesome. And Dracula says, now you know what's happened. And there's a bit where he times across the wall and leaves Dennis Waterman. But Fitz, because he fancies his woman, helps Dennis Waterman out because he knows Dracula wants to bite her and turn her into his bits. There's a good scene where you got backs. They do kill that priest. Bit fired again, very vicious. The dude tries to do a one-off, but you got one vampire back trying to get a toss-off on. You're thinking, I've seen this sort of film in another film. The original Fight Night, there's a scene where Charlie Brewster's watching an old vampire film, and you hear this music where it goes, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. You got a bat attacking a woman. If you've ever seen the original Fight Night, there's a scene where Charlie Brewster's watching an old Dracula film. That's the one. It starts with Dracula. They use some of that footage and they actually put it in the original Fight Night. For anyone who's never knew that, there's your answer. So he gets the toss of her. Dracula's about to bite her. Fix tries to be a hero, but little too late. Dracula falls him to his death. But Bill has a temper tantrum in this one. He's about to get her. Dennis Waterman throws a big metal bar at him, sticks at him, but it don't work because it's not steak, not the sort you eat. He pulls the bar out, but then lightning hits it. I'm not making this shit up. Lightning hits it. Dracula goes on fire and falls to his fucking doom. Now, this is something I do like about this because it was a practical man again. It was a stunt man on fire, on a burn suit. Why do they not do that anymore? Why it all to be fucking CGI? And I'm sure it was on a low budget on set. And he did. He put himself on fire, falls to his doom. Dennis Waterman and his missus stand there. End of the movie. The end. And it's a good one. It's a good one. The only issue is a lot of people didn't like the fact that it was a lot more fire, it was a lot more bloodier, and they wanted to mile it down. And that's when they made the mistake, a couple of years later, of making Dracula 72 a dick. So I mean AD. Well, it might as well be a dick because it's the worst one. And then you had Dracula Pacific Rim Job. Oh, sorry, I meant Dracula Pacific fucking Rights. Had a few cycles to it. And then them two, you can definitely see why Christopher Lee at that point got peed off, got bored, and decided to call it a fucking day. Because they were trap, they were garbage. I can watch them as time wasters, but if people wanted to insult them, people wanted to shag them off stupid, I couldn't offend it. I couldn't. Not in a million years could I offend them films because they're just fucking horrendous. But this one, in my eyes, had to be the last, the best one of Christopher Lee as Dracula back in 1971, that is the stars of Dracula. Into them, be smart, be safe, and I'll see you soon.